You made the NCAAs. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I never really expected that I would make the NCAAs. It just kind of like was a meet that I never really saw myself at, because I always looked at those girls as like the super fast girls that were like the best in the country, and I just never really thought that I'd make it there. So that means a lot to me, and I'm really excited to go.
What are some of the things you've improved on this year that have helped you get to this point?
I think a couple of the things that I've improved on is just being less afraid in my races, especially in the 100 fly. I've always been really scared to take it out fast and afraid to die really hard in the race. So I think that I've gotten over that fear a little bit, and that's helped me a lot in improving my time in the 100 fly.
So you broke a 13-year-old record here at Pacific. How's that feel for you? You still settling in with that?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing. I never really looked at the 100 fly record as something that I could break either. So when I looked up at the scoreboard at conference and saw that I had broken the record, it was pretty amazing. It was a really great feeling.
What's the mindset you bring into the NCAAs?
I mean, my coach always says that I'm going to go wreck fools, so I'm trying to go in with that mindset and try and put aside the fact that it's my first NCAAs and that I'm going to be one of the youngest ones there. As a sophomore, it's my first time going, so I'm just trying to kind of put that all aside and just kind of go in with a positive mindset and hope for the best.
So yeah, as a sophomore, what are some of your goals moving on from here now that you've already made it to the NCAAs and broke a school record?
Well, I mean, going to NCAAs as a sophomore, I kind of hope that I can go as a junior and as a senior as well. And then my main goal overall is just to go to the Olympic trials in 2016.
So it's 2 years in a row now with a swimmer going to the NCAAs. How's that feel as a coach?
You know, we're very, very proud. Very, very proud. Obviously, it's 2 years in a row having a sophomore go to NCAAs is it's where we want to be. It's where we want to be every single year, and it's nice to see the hard work paying off, and it's just the greatest feeling in the world to watch someone, look at that clock when they finish their race and they know it's a time that can qualify for NCAAs. So that's the best part for each individual athlete, but certainly says a lot about our team and the direction we're going.
Yeah, and Kenna Ramey also, she broke a 13-year-old school record, one of your old teammates. How proud of you, or how proud are you of her? There we go.
I'm very, very proud of Kenna. I'll tell you what, I got to swim with Shannon Catalano, and she was arguably the greatest swimmer in University of the Pacific history. A multi-event All-American, and someone I actually grew up swimming with. And so I have a lot of respect. I know how hard she worked for everything that she got, and to have one of my swimmers break a record that Shannon had held, it's with great reverence that we acknowledge that, because she's quite the Pacific swimmer, and very, very proud of Kenna and all the hard work she's done.
And it's not just Kenna, you guys set 5 individual records, school records at the MPSFs. So how's that feel for the whole team? What's the vibe from all them?
They were like, when do they go up on the record boards? When did the record board get changed? They were all pretty excited about that. It's just nice to have a target. Even with Kenna, she didn't know until about 2 hours before the race what the record was. She just kind of thought it was an afterthought. But to see so many records go down, obviously the 5 relays and the 5 individual, there's quite a history at Pacific Swimming with Brad Schumacher and double gold medalist and top 15 finishes at the NCAAs as recent as the early 2000s. We've got quite the record board, and it was great to see 10 of them go down this year. I think that any coach knows that you're only as good as your next recruiting class, and so for all the recruits out there clicking on this link, I hope that you give University of the Pacific a look, because I think you'll find an energetic coaching staff that cares about each individual, and a team that really gets faster when they get here. People not thinking they could ever make NCAAs, making NCAAs. So that's what's on the docket in terms of the recruiting thing. But I'll tell you what, about the roster we have now, everyone's just jacked. That's the best word I have for it. They're just jacked about getting back in the pool and training for the long course season and sending. I think we have 5 or 6 individuals qualified for Olympic trials right now, but we think that number could get up to 12. So we're very, very excited about that, and everyone's just anxious to kind of get back in training, which typically after season, most people don't feel that way. But I think we have a unique team, very, very special team, and it was a special year.
What do you have to say to the team after that MPSF performance?
I couldn't say a whole lot. My voice was pretty gone by the end of the meet. I usually give a post-meet speech. It's a battle of, I think it's the Battle of Sterling in Braveheart, William Wallace's speech, and I could barely get that out before finals on Friday or on Saturday night. But what I just told the team is I was just so proud. I told them to acknowledge, the hard work that they've done. It pays off, and just really the main thing is understanding it's a process throughout the year. Something you and I had talked about but hadn't talked about real much publicly is I remember against Santa Barbara in January, we didn't have all our pieces of the puzzle in a dual meet, and they went 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 200 freestyle in our dual meet in the men's side. And then the first day of conference, we beat them in the 4x200 relay, and broke a conference record by 100. So that was pretty special just to see everyone believing in the big picture. And I think that was one of the things we were really taken from conference this year.
So it's 2 years in a row sending one of the ladies to the NCAAs. How jealous are the guys of all that?
Well, we're hoping to get at least one on the men's side this year, and we'll know in about 4 days if Yahav, his 52-900 breaststroke. It's made it every single year there's been an NCAA championship. But this year he's right on the bubble, and so we're going to give it another go to try to improve a 10th or two. If he improves 1/10, he's in for sure. But we think he has a shot at it now. But yeah, the guys are close in relays, and if you send a team to if you send relays to NCAAs, it's a whole new world. And you're likely to be well in the top 25 if you can do that. So we're closer on the men's side in terms of relays than we were on the women's side, though we have some NCAA qualifiers on the women's side. And we're very, very young. There's 20 relay spots up for grabs. 18 of them are underclassmen this year for the men, and all 5 of them are school records. So certainly they're happy because we feel like we're one team. The women are going to NCAAs. But I know that it's in their gut that they want it real, real bad. So this is just the tip of the iceberg.